Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Vinny Eastwood Show, broadcasting live on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. On AM, FM affiliates all across America, and I'm sure there is a lot of depth to the VinnyEastwoodShow.com. I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, have a look around. The amount of work that has been put into this website by me over the past 2 years that this show's been running, you wouldn't believe. Okay, we've got. I've designed over 12 DVDs that you can get. Okay, I'm 27 and I've made 12 DVDs by myself. Yes, there's the humor page which has 100 plus really funny and incredibly well done pictures to the quality of David D's type style. Listener feedback page, a volunteer page, a forum. We've got commercial-free archives for those of you who are subscribers, including commercial-free videos as well. A little copyright notice there, so just in case, we violate copyright, nobody comes and attacks us. Contact page, the shop, iodine supplements. You can advertise with us. We've got vitamin C DVDs and all of this other kind of stuff. I've got a blog, a bio, some of the stuff that I've said on the show I've even put down in the quotes page, Man, we do really come into some interesting stuff on this show, and there is a lot of depth to all of it. And specifically, I want to direct people towards the archives, the 2012 archives, because if you ever look at the homepage, it's like, nearly 3,000 Facebook shares, but you have a look at the 2012 archives, it's like 16. There's real cool archives there, people. Check them out. All right, Kyle from Pennsylvania, you're still hanging on the line here, man. I'm going to turn this into the Philly half hour or something of that nature, because it's just that creamy and spreadable. Welcome back.
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
Well, hey, what's up? But no, just picking up, I guess, where we left off. Vinny, when I called in and you saw Kyle from Pennsylvania, I mean,
it's actually Kyle from Philly.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, you knew Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I guarantee you walk up to 9 out of 10 people in Philadelphia and tell them to find New Zealand on a map. They absolutely could not do it. And that's the biggest problem. I mean,
well, look at it this way, bro. They don't have a radio show in New Zealand, but I do have a radio show in America, so I kind of have to be familiar with it a little bit.
If anybody said New Zealand in Philadelphia, if you got an answer from it, they might say, "Isn't that where they filmed Lord of the Rings or something?" That's it. That's the only concept of it.
Yeah. And it is like the Lord of the Rings out here to a degree. We have large trolls in these dark underground caverns that we call the Parliament Building and stuff like that. It's pretty freaky out there. And they have orcs that wear police uniforms.
But you have a couple wizards to protect you, so that's good.
Yeah. In fact, we do literally have a wizard that is protecting New Zealand. He's called the Wizard of Christchurch or something like that. And how when they do a census, right, they send out forms to everywhere, and these census collecting scum and what have you. What the wizard does is he takes a rowboat and he rows out to international waters while the census is going on, and then rows back in.
Wow. He's dedicated.
Yeah, apparently.
But, ignorance is, chemtrails, fluoride, poisoning, they're all tools of the New World Order, but the biggest weapon that they have is ignorance. And that is something that they're responsible for it, but people have to have a certain level of accountability and realize you can't just let the world pass you by. No one's going to hand you information and say, "Here, take this," unless you bump into, someone like us three. But people need to be responsible for learning what's happening in the world around them.
Absolutely. Hey, Kyle.
Yo.
I kind of feel also like, once you give truth to someone and they see what's going on because they're, in their comfort zone with their PS3s and, their iPads and their little gadgets, everyone's comfortable. So it's like once they find the truth, are they going to be willing to get off their, their butts and their couches and do something about it? And the sad answer is, dude, I don't think so, man.
Well, and the greatest thing that the truth has going for it is the fact that it's true. And I find out when you tell somebody, hey, listen, this is the reason why things are the way that they are. Truth will resonate with people, and it will hit them at a level where they say, you know what? The fact that I was told for 10 years that 9/11 was the fault of, people screwing up across the board and just total incompetence. But then somebody tells me that, no, it was a highly orchestrated false flag attack on New York City. The truth has a way of cutting eyes to people. I mean, it will hit people, and it will stick with them. And even at that moment, if they walk away and say, you're crazy, I don't believe it, somewhere down the line, they're going to see something that just doesn't make sense to them or doesn't fit into what they have been told, and they're going to go back to what you told them. And that's when it's going to say, because you can tell people anything. Whether they listen or not is arbitrary. They almost need to find out for themselves. They need to have that realization of, oh my God, as much as I don't want to believe this, this is the best.
And they might actually be on it.
It's to think that every problem in this world is because of, people's incompetence. That is just incredibly naive to think that. And I think that once you accept the fact that, no, things aren't this way by accident. They're designed to be this way. Everything is wrong for a reason. That has a way of sticking, and that is motivating the people.
Yeah. And I find it particularly works when you're in public meetings, things of that nature. If you're the one truth speaker who stands up and says something, you have a huge effect on that crowd. Like last night, for instance, we had these two guys who were commenting on the sale of New Zealand and free trade and all of that kind of stuff. And I told them that I'd interviewed Branko Milanovic. He's the lead research economist for the World Bank on inequality, economic inequality. And I asked him point blank, does privatization of state assets or selling off of land and strategic reserves and things like that, is that ever beneficial? Has it ever been? And he said in his professional opinion that no, never been. Now, because that's the truth, and the other guys didn't have anything to argue with it, guess what their argument was? I don't believe you, and I don't know why anybody who talks like that would be working for the World Bank.
Exactly.
That's the facts that he's got to defend against it? Come on. Pathetic slime.
No,
they got nothing.
It's like saying, what you just did was wrong on this, and level. And then that person turns around and says, yeah, well, you got a big head.
Yeah.
Well, it's non sequitur, and it's...
After that happened, after I asked that question, a couple of people came up after all the debate and everything was over and asked what my name was and if I had a radio show or something like that. So just sitting there and a whole group of people who I thought were stiffs and investors and establishment sycophants, I found about half a dozen truthers who are now going to start listening to my radio show or watching my videos probably. Okay, you put yourself out there. It's like you're in the long grass or something like that. You stick your neck out. Not only can you see where all the predators are, they can see you, but also your allies can see you and rush to your aid.
Right.
Well, you're most protected at your most visible. If you're, I know something top secret.
I don't know, man. I know some mates who are snipers who would disagree with you, but go ahead.
Well, generally, I'll say, if you're out there and you're, in front of, a crowd of people and you stand up and say, why did your bank take $2 billion of taxpayers' money and send it offshore to England during the bailout? There's not much that they can do to you right then and there. And as long as you can keep a certain level of visibility and stay on the radar, then
Right.
for the most part, you think you're going to be okay. Now, some people will accidentally shoot themselves in the head 3 times, and some people will accidentally cut their heads off while shaving, but that is, I would say that is the exception, not the rule.
Well, you know what? I find that the human race is rather exceptional, and it breaks all the rules. You know, that's basically the nature of it. I don't know how long it took me to start to realise that anything that has rules and regulations and what have you that isn't explained, they should be broken and tested. And if you get a backlash from it, then you say like, oh, yeah, now I know why that rule's there. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I have to learn firsthand. You know, like I have to be tortured in order to know that torture's bad.
Well, if you see on the back of a Drano bottle, you know, do not use Drano as toothpaste. You know, it begs the question. Somebody probably used Drano as toothpaste at some point for them to have to put this warning on the back of this label, which,
Yeah, really.
okay, that's a good enough reason for it right there.
Okay. Well, Kyle, I wanted to know just kind of what woke you up to kind of thing. Are you getting out there? Are you being active? Are you doing videos? Or I know you're calling into radio, man, so you're definitely a lot more active than 1,000 times as many people. So, yeah. Tell us your story, man.
Well, there's actually a local radio station in Philadelphia, and it's a hardcore conservative talk show. And I'd say half of the guys on the radio station are local guys, and the other half are nationally syndicated. And I heard a local guy on the radio. Is that the commercial?
No, that sounds like an ice cream truck going past somebody's. Maybe he's gonna go out. Ask him for one with chocolate sprinkles and some nuts, bro. No, wait. It's probably just the local Philly pedophile luring the children in. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Working for CPS on the side. Yeah.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm outside right now, dude, and I'm looking in the sky. I'm just looking in the sky, and I don't see a blue sky. Do you notice that? Can you see all the haze if you look out your door right now?
I see some blue sky, but it's definitely it's sticky and nasty, and I can definitely see a distinct chemtrail that was there at one point about 2 hours ago that is now dispersed over the sky. Great.
And as far as like the fluoride in our water and all, I mean, you're like, you know, when a lot of people from Philly hear this, I mean, you know, we're both from Philadelphia, and what would your message be to people who really think that it's fake and, you know, that we're crazy and we don't know what we're talking about?
My message to everybody in Philadelphia would be turn off the sports talk radio. Stop watching. If you spend as much time watching, you know, listening to people like VinnyEastwood and reading up on history as you did watching the Philadelphia Eagles, your life would be dramatically better. And, oh, God, Philadelphia, the mayor before Nutter, right. John Street, is the biggest example of corruption in politics. Yet, there's a very good chance he could have got voted back in because people were ignorant and he was black. Not to try to make this a racial thing, but if you are a Democrat and you're black in the city of Philadelphia and you run for office, you're in there. I mean, you're solid gold. You might as well get the seat ready for you now. And this tribalism and this sense of, you know, I can relate to him, so I trust him.
I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier about separating us too, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what it is. I mean, the cops in Philadelphia are cops in Philadelphia are goons. I mean, they're goons. They make New York goons look like, you know, petty thugs. But the Philadelphia cops are absolute goons, and they are. I mean, I've been up to cops who have flat out said, you know, look at that, you know, black guy over there. He's up to something. Right. Or, you know, look at this guy. He's doing something. Mm. And that separation, man. That we just got it. Like
we've got to put it. We've got to come together on the points we agree and leave the rest. And Kyle. Thank you for your call. We'll be right back, folks. It's only the globalist scum. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show that's all about comedy and scumbaggery. It's the Vinny Eastwood Show, broadcasting live on fabulous American Freedom Radio Network all across America and around the world in the Fourth Reich sense of the word. And my very special guests, it's now plural, yes, you heard that correctly, is Paul, the Prince Truthchaser, and of course we're now joined by Frater X. Frater, welcome.
Hello.
To the show.
Hey.
Yeah. And what's up, man? You wanted to come on the show, and there's apparently some whistleblower that you're interviewing coming up.
Yeah, it's no big deal. You know, just a little something. I thought maybe people might, I don't know, somebody might think it was interesting. Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe I shouldn't even come on. It's not really a big deal or nothing, right?
It's a huge... It's like the biggest breakthrough in exposing Freemason scumbaggery and the war inside it since, like, ever.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, actually, yes.
Come on, for frack's sake, I hate you occultists. You're all cryptic about Shiite Muslim. Just get out with it. Spit it out.
Properly prepared to receive the dark occulted information.
You read old dusty tomes in Rosicrucian underground libraries that are like protected by Centurion guards wearing red capes like on Return of the Jedi, bro. Don't tell me you're unprepared.
It's flaming swords.
Just come on, out with it, man.
All right, no, seriously. Yes, in fact, we do have we have a former administrative employee to the Supreme Council of Dallas, Texas, Scottish Rite, who has contacted me. He actually wrote a book. It was released on the New Year, New Falcon Books. It's an amazing opportunity for us to look at the Supreme Council from the inside. This guy was literally number 3 in line to the Grand Commander of the Supreme Council. That is, in fact, Albert Pike's seat, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's number was 2 degrees separation away from him, even though he's only a 32-degree Mason himself. As a paid assistant to the Secretary General, who's an assistant to the Grand Commander, he had access and was privy to all kinds of inter-chamber conversations. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity for us. And he'll be on my show on the 18th on American Freedom Radio at 8 o'clock Central Standard Times. And he's available to Vinny Eastwood, your lovable voice down under, everyone. If you want to have Vinny take a crack at him too, let him know, because I don't know, maybe he doesn't think it's a big deal. He doesn't seem to want to get back to me about scheduling him, guys. I thought Vinny was all about getting you guys the info, but I don't know.
Well, I've got a full schedule. Like, what have I got? I've got. You wanted me to have him on the 23rd. On the 23rd, yes. I've got John Walls, who is a UFO abductee who freaked the hell out of everybody on 2020. Anthony J. Hilda talking about the Olympics. Lindsey William, guy named Anthony Peake, Anthony Independence, and Philip Keeve, who's who's like a blog or social media commentator. So yeah, I'm full up for quite a bit, man. I'm always organising, but with the proviso that I can also do interviews off air via Skype with either audio or video. So if this guy has Skype, Fader, man, I can hook it up like today, pretty much.
Well, yeah, that's the way we should go, because I'm sure all those other guys have the dogs of woe nipping at their heels, but from the Illuminati as well, and are worried and running from state to state for their lives, just like this guy, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not. But anyway.
But also, when I send Skype requests to people, yeah, man. But I'll send a Skype request to them, and normally when I do that, I say, please accept this Skype request. Once you do, a drone will be sent to your house.
Yeah, right. No, seriously. Let me just tell you a quick little anecdotal story here. This guy literally was driven out of Dallas, Texas. He had to relocate in an undisclosed state in America, and literally within a week, he called the FBI. He received a package with white powder in it. Homeland Security got involved. They helped him to move, and within a week, the Scottish Rite knew where he was, and he told no one. So I don't know. They got their own surveillance. I mean, they're probably working with Apple.
Well, look look. There's bound to be penetration of Masons within law enforcement. I mean, how can there not be? In the UK, I think it was something like they've got 36,000 out of a couple of hundred, or something like that. Something like 33%, or tens of thousands of sworn police officers who are sworn to uphold the law are also sworn to Freemasonry as well. And in fact, Charlie Veach, he was out there one time, and he got approached by a cop, and he noticed on his finger there was a Freemasonic ring. So it's out there, but I don't know.
Well, obviously great minds think alike, because you came to the same conclusion that I did in half a second. I was like, wasn't J. Edgar Hoover a 33rd degree Scottish Rite? Yes, it was. So, I don't think there's anywhere you're going to be safe with the FBI giving you the, pointers.
Yeah, and isn't there like only 33rd degree Freemasons on the world at any one point? Like, in order to become initiated to the next level, one of them has to die or whatever?
In the southern jurisdiction. Then there's 66 in the northern, which makes 99 altogether. Like the 99 percenters. I don't know. It's weird, right? Yeah. They're actually the 1%ers, but they call themselves the 99. I don't know.
Now, what the Freemasons?
They wear little white hats too. They have funny little bellhop hats too.
With the Freemasons, after the 33rd degree, doesn't that don't they initiate you in the Illuminati?
Well, see, this is the misconception of most people, Paul, and that is that the Freemasons only have 3 degrees. Scottish Rite is a separate organization that's like a pilot fish, which has attached itself to the proper Freemasonic system. So there's really only 3 degrees in Freemasonry. But the Scottish Rite wants everybody to think that there's actually 32 degrees and then 33, because that's it's more convenient. It helps them to have authority and legitimacy, which in fact they're frauds. So. But that's a whole other story.
Just like every other form of authority and legitimacy.
Yeah, isn't that weird how that seems to be the case across the board? Churches, governments, it's all a farce, really. They tell us they're here, law and order and stuff, when it's really chaos,
I'll tell you what, I'm going to now adopt a general rule of thumb. Anybody who comes up to me claiming to have some form of authority, I'm going to say, frick you! You don't have any authority, you're a fraud and a scumbag. Leave me alone. I haven't hurt nobody. I haven't stolen anybody's stuff. So get the frack out of my face.
Well, yeah, you're right. And Vinny, just for a moment, I wanted to say that I find all this incredibly remarkable to me, considering that within the last month, we've really stepped up the promotion of the publication of the book I'm working on called The Secret War Inside Freemasonry, which is supposed to be going to the presses spring 2013. And, all of a sudden now...
Did you just say your book is going to depress us in 2016? What?
No, actually, it's going to uplift us, but it's going to the presses. You're such a punster. So anyways...
I am a cunning linguist and a master debater.
Yeah, you are a master debater. But the fact of the matter is that it just seems remarkable to me, doesn't it? That they, being contacted... And I'll be honest, I've been contacted by other individuals that I don't want to disclose at this moment. We'll talk about this more as time goes by, that have basically scared the fracking crap out of me. Okay, this is the moment where the beast has finally reared its ugly head at me, and I got to tell you, it's no coincidence. I feel as if I threw a rock at a giant monster and it turned around and said, "Come here, Fluffy."
All right, well, you heard it here first. Frater's execution will be televised.
Yes, August 18th, American Freedom Radio, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You need to join the Google Plus group for the live execution.
Don't call us. We'll call you, everybody. We already know who wants to listen.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming to the end of the show now. So, Freda, it was nice to know you. And
thank you. Remember me, all of you, in your prayers. Everyone, please have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Contact me also, man.
Oh, absolutely, Paul. FrederXFreeZone@gmail.com, Paul.
All right. Excellent, dude. Awesome.
And
right,
also,
nice to meet you. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you very much for having me on, Vin.
Thanks, Freda, man. I might not see you again sometime.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
The Masons. Right, now, I was wanting you to give out your email there as well, Paul, before the show ends, so that Kyle can get in touch with you. And I'll also put you in touch with Mark Passio. So there you go. You'll have a Philly trifecta. How about them apples?
How about that, man? That's how we got to do it.
Yep. The way I see it, and I'm going to violate FCC regulations on purpose now. I'm going to read out my Facebook status. It's just probably the stupidest choice of my entire career, but yeah. If I could even find it. Yes. Well, it's something about this. Here we are. The way I look at it, we either help each other in any way we can, or we're all fucked in every way we can be. So I want to thank you for coming on the show today and for doing everything that you do in the streets, talking to people, getting stuff done. I hope you get your new mic and everything. That'll be choice, bro. And basically, onward and upward. Keep doing the same thing that you're doing because you're obviously getting better at it.
Right. Thanks a lot, man. And I appreciate you having me on the show, Ben. Thank you. And keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're inspiration to a lot of people, too.
Yeah, well, the best way to do something that inspires others is just do something that inspires yourself, really. It's not that complicated. Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in, and if you are wanting to listen to a little bit more of me, I will be with the illustrious, the fabulous Charlie McGrath on wakenews.net within the next 5 minutes. So, wakenews.net, wakenews.net, wakenews.net. And we will see you again sometime, ladies and gentlemen. And make sure you check out youtube.com/Prince Truth Chaser. youtube.com/Prince Truth Chaser. Thank you very much for listening.